twice exceptional is different for each person, but I'd say to trying to find the general, twice exceptional kid would be someone extremely creative with a lot of drive to do whatever they set their mind to.
I always thought twice exceptional, in my mind at least, meant one of those genius computer hackers like Bill Gates who was able to start companies or hack into the Pentagon or just do something really cool, but was just sort of, when stuck into a social situation, didn't know what to do. To me, twice exceptional has always meant somebody really smart who's just not very good at parties.
There is definitely a typical Bridges child. Kids that are very subdued, but are obviously extraordinarily intelligent. One that doesn't like to do PE would be another one.
Bridges student is kind of an oxymoron. There are no typical Bridges students. Every kid at this school is so out there and different.
Everyone calls this 2E, and no one understands how many categories there are within that.
I was definitely confused. That's, part of the whole growing up deal. I was angry in general. I have Tourette's, I have ADHD, OCD, all that loveliness. And at the time it was pretty bad, and I was still getting used to having it and dealing with other people, et cetera, et cetera. And I don't know. It was a tricky time.
I was holding every other kid back with my loudness. I was very loud. I didn't know how to whisper, so I couldn't even... It wasn't like, oh, the teacher's teaching some boring thing, let's have a discussion. I was at a constant yell, and I had trouble sitting quietly in a desk. I don't know if the film, you'll probably cut out scenes where it's happening, but under my chair, my leg is constantly shaking, which is where I've channeled most of the energy to. So I always got this leg moving around or some sort of hyperactivity, but it's very minute and it's very concentrated to a specific area.
6229 4895 4930 964 0975 665 933 Math is kind of cool the way it works and stuff. I don't know, it's also very colorful because I have that thing, I forgot what it's called, where you see the numbers and letters and colors and stuff.
One of my main issues was that I was often socially, if they say no man is an island, then I was a very isolated peninsula connected to the mainland by tiny isthmus.
I tend to be socially awkward. I always have been at the school, just saying the wrong things or not understanding memes or jokes, because mind you, although I do spend a lot of time on the internet, the problem is I spend the time looking at World War II documentaries and others, the Cold War documentaries. So much so that I don't understand modern pop culture. It just passed me by.
All the kids would play handball against the thing, and when I wanted to play, I'd just go up and stand there with the handball. I wouldn't know how to join in, and it's like these basic social skills that other kids were born with, I didn't have. I didn't know what I was supposed to do. I didn't know. It's like they tell you, look me in the eye, and I'm like, which eye do you want me to look at?
I had the perception that I was different and not normal. And that changed because I learned basically there is no normal.
I hyper-focus and I have a hard time focusing. So the hyper-focusing is what comes in handy with the animation. I can focus on one thing for hours on end, not eating, not sleeping, not anything.
Life was something I was scared of. I was just extremely anxious. I was in the car as a little kid and I'd feel the bass, and that was something I really wanted, was a physical interaction with music, and bass kind of really filled that. I do everything 110%. I know exactly what I want to do and how I want to do it, and not doing it is not an option. Go home and I play at least 5.5 hours of music, at least, and I stay up until 2 a.m. driving my parents nuts. But it's worth it. They'll thank me later.
It's like, now that we're all seniors, all of us have found our niche. We know what we like doing. We know what we're good at. We know what we're bad at. We know what subject we're probably going to continue studying, and we know what subject we're probably not going to continue studying. I have applied to the California Institute of the Arts, CalArts, best school ever for artists or musicians or anything. And I've sent in an amazing transcript, a movie that I made, a portfolio of amazing stuff. And if I don't get in, I don't know what's wrong with them. And if I don't get in this year, I'm going to try again next year because there is no other school I want to go to. I'll find out next month.
Everyone has so many different interests, and they just pursue them. And everyone seems to have some innate talent at something. And while they may or may not work on that, they are passionate about what they do.
I have quite a few things I am interested in.
I make movies. I want to write for TV shows. I make songs, DVDs.
I like to build myself and read.
Media tech. Quantum physics. Horses.
Psychology, law, acting, directing, writing, stand-up comedy.
History and good at math.
A couple of weeks ago, I played at the Whiskey A Go-Go. I show them all over California, and I'm going to start to show them all around the country.
I'm really interested in the Japanese language.
Well, I'm interested in politics and science, like particularly space and aerodynamics.
Like a couple of years ago, where they're discovering all these zoo particles, like really weird particles like gluons and quarks and all that weird stuff.
There's the hiragana and katakana, which are about 100 characters each.
Right now we're working on creating our own game type thing. They've just discovered this new thing in theory called a naked singularity.
Being a chef, and one other thing that I always seem to forget.